Welcome to the 2024 Women's Business Development Council's Women Rising Annual Gala and Awards Celebration. Please take your seats. Our program will begin shortly. Thank you. Our program is beginning. Please take your seats. Thank you. Our program is beginning. Please take your seats. Thank you. Please welcome to the stage our Master of Ceremonies, Gilda Bonanno.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Good morning. Welcome to the Women's Business Development Council's Women Rising Annual Gala and Awards Ceremony, celebrating 27 years in business. This is WBDC's 27th year in business, working with women entrepreneurs to help them launch and scale their businesses. This is our largest event yet, which I found out when you came in through the parking lot, with over 785 people registered. A big WBDC welcome to each of you who took the time from your busy schedule to celebrate with us today. I'm Gilda Bonanno, and I'm excited to be your MC today. I'm the owner of a speaking, training, and coaching business that specializes in helping executives and entrepreneurs elevate their communication, presentation, and leadership skills. Today, we celebrate entrepreneurial women, our accomplishments, and our economic impact on the state, the country, and the world. Your support helps to make that economic impact a reality. Speaking of your support, I hope you've all had a chance to buy raffle tickets and see our amazing raffle items. Now, the raffle will only be open until 12:15. You don't need to leave your seat to participate. There is a number to text on the tent cards on your tables. So just text WBDC raffle to 76278 and follow the instructions from there, and it's not case sensitive. I won't be insulted if you pull out your cell phones or turn them over right now to purchase your tickets. We have awesome items, including a shopping spree and lunch at Neiman Marcus, airline tickets, jewelry, spa treatments, and many escapes and adventures throughout the great state of Connecticut. Winners will be announced a bit later in the program, so please purchase your tickets before 12:15. Today we have an exciting program for you, during which you'll hear about WBDC's work over the past 27 years to provide women with the entrepreneurial education and business advising they need to launch and expand profitable businesses. You'll meet some of our fantastic clients who have grown their businesses with help from WBDC. And we're so pleased to recognize one of our volunteers for outstanding community service and to honor two amazing business leaders with the WBDC Impact Award. We are also very excited to have Carla Harris with us today as our keynote. Yeah, it's exciting. She will offer her keynote near the end of the program. We would like to thank our Gala committee, chaired by WBDC board member Amanda Castellano. Thank you for all you've done today to make it such a success. We would also like to acknowledge all of our generous sponsors and host committee members for their support of WBDC and this event. In particular, I'd like to recognize our lead sponsors by name, and I ask that you please hold your applause to the end. A very special thanks to our title sponsor, Philip Morris International, our impact sponsors, Foxwoods Wonder Nation and MasterCard, our investor sponsors, DR Bank, Fairfield County Business Journal, Jen Rhee, Hartford Healthcare, Travelers, and Webster Bank. Our capital sponsors, Alex Brown, a division of Raymond James, Bourgeon Capital Management, DraftKings, Hearst Connecticut Media Group, Henkel, Libertas, M&T Bank, Moffley Media, Point 72, Wells Fargo, and Wigan and Dana. Now we can give them a round of applause. Thank you. And you can see also our Empower and Aspire sponsors and all of our host committee members and sponsors in the program. I'd like to acknowledge now the federal, state, and local leaders who are in attendance today for their support of women's entrepreneurship in Connecticut and their recognition of WBDC as the leader in entrepreneurial training. You can read their names on the screens, and let's give them a round of applause for their support. Lastly, we'd love to see your photos and posts from today's gala on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and X at CTWBDC, and on LinkedIn at the Women's Business Development Council. Use the hashtag WBDCGala24. And now, please welcome to the stage the CEO of WBDC, Fran Pastore.
Thank you all so much for joining us here today on this exciting occasion to celebrate Connecticut's women entrepreneurs. For nearly 30 years, the Women's Business Development Council has proudly provided entrepreneurial education, expert business advising, empowering women to launch and expand successful ventures, creating jobs, bolstering the economic vitality of our beloved state. 4 years ago, we took a significant step, aided by the leadership of our state, in becoming a grant maker. Since then, we have made over $11 million in small business grants to small businesses, women entrepreneurs in every corner of this state. With that amazing program, we have demonstrated our continuing amazing commitment, unwavering commitment, to support and uplift women entrepreneurs. Our experience has shown us that when women gain access to capital and credit, they don't just improve their own lives, and they improve the lives of their family, and they uplift communities, and sometimes can even make a mark on the national or global stage. This year, Melinda Gates made headlines when she announced her renewed focus on supporting individuals and organizations dedicated to advancing the rights of women, girls, and families. She aptly stated There will always be people who say it's not the right time to talk about gender equality. But decades of research on economics and well-being and governance make it clear that investing in women and girls benefits everyone. We know, thanks. Economies with full women's participation have more room to grow. So let me ask you all here today, do you agree with Melinda Gates? Melinda is on a transformational journey toward global gender equity, and her efforts are a beacon of hope and inspiration for all of us. At a time when women's rights continue to be threatened at home and abroad, it is both validating and inspiring to witness someone as powerful as she championing the rights of women and girls across the globe. Her unwavering commitment fuels our collective passion for change and underscores the importance of standing together for a more equitable future, a mission that aligns perfectly with that of WBDC's. Like Melinda, the two women we are honoring here today, Jean Swift and Stacey Kennedy, epitomize the strength of women in positions of leadership. These remarkable women are not only champions of their own success, but they are tireless advocates for the women who follow in their footsteps and for those who walk alongside of them. In an era when women need allies more than ever, at home and abroad, these women, along with their organizations, have stepped up and stepped forward with the determination and purpose to mentor, champion, and elevate women, not only in their workplace, but in their community. And we at WBDC are deeply grateful for their invaluable support and commitment to the women entrepreneurs in this state. The jobs we create at WBDC, the lives we change, the impact we have every day, none of it would be possible without the unwavering support of partners like these. Each person in this room is a partner in our success and in the success of women entrepreneurs, and you play a vital role in this mission. Whether you volunteered your expertise to help a client, supported this event, purchased a seat at this event, bought a raffle ticket, your investment fuels real change in the lives of our clients, Connecticut's women entrepreneurs. So thank you. And speaking of inspiring achievements, this year alone, more than 3,000 women have walked through our door seeking to launch or scale their business. They've not only created jobs for themselves and others, but they've also begun the road to economic stability for themselves, laying the groundwork for a prosperous future for their families. Among these extraordinary individuals, we are so proud to recognize today 6 of our Women Rising Award recipients. Their journey of growth, supported by WBDC, showcases their passion, dedication, and resilience. We will share their remarkable stories through a series of videos throughout the program today, serving as powerful testimonials to what can be achieved when women are empowered with the capital, confidence, and connections to pursue their dreams. I hope their entrepreneurial journeys and their accomplishments will inspire you to continue to invest in our work and the countless women entrepreneurs whose futures we are shaping together. We're transforming lives, and we're building a legacy of entrepreneurial success. Before we share the first video, I need to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to my fabulous colleagues and the WBDC team and board of directors. Your hard work, passion, unwavering commitment are the driving forces behind the work that we do and helps me get up every day with even more commitment to our work. Without your enthusiastic support and collaboration, none of our achievements would be possible. Thank you all so much for your tireless dedication to empowering the women that we serve and making such a meaningful difference in communities throughout this great state of Connecticut. And lastly, thank you. And lastly, it's not every day that a United States Senator, a member of Congress, the governor and the first lady of your state, the lieutenant governor, and so many other municipal and state leaders take time out of their important work especially at this very moment in time, to attend an event such as this. Thank you for recognizing the important work of WBDC. Now let's take a moment to watch the first video featuring 2 of our Women Rising Award recipients. Thank you all and have a wonderful afternoon.
Cottontail started in my home in 2006. I was a single mother and I was home with 3 children. So I opened up a family childcare. More and more calls started coming in. More and more families were seeking childcare. And at that point, I decided to take the journey and investigate on opening up a large center. Not until November of 2022 is when I found this space. That's exactly when WBDC came into the picture. WBDC offered counseling. WBDC offered advising. WBDC taught me how to write a business plan. They always gave me their support and that pat on the back saying, Sophia, go for it. I can never forget that first day that I opened, watching the first children run down this hallway. It's just something that will be with me forever. Each child in here is family. When I found out that I was a recipient of the Women Rising Award with WBDC, I was astonished. I was grateful. I was proud. I didn't think I could ever be where I am today. But WBDC really gives you that confidence and support to do it.
I started off actually when I lost my job, and I had to find other ways of means of supporting myself and my daughter because I'm a single mom and I had to find ways to survive. So what I did is I started making juices and selling them from my car trunk. People were getting to know me, my products, and they really like it. I went online on Google and said, oh, let me look for small business support or woman-owned business, and WBDC popped up. Having an advisor at WBDC was very helpful, and the whole GPS program and the library of resources I have online have helped my business to progress from my car trunk to a shared kitchen space and then having my own private kitchen space. The WBDC motivated me to do more and push more and not taking no for an answer, just keep going. When I found out that I was selected for the Women Rising Award, I was surprised, but I was excited. I can't wait to celebrate. I see my relationship with the WBDC long-term. Entrepreneurship journey is not easy, but if you're very persistent, you don't take no for an answer, keep going, that's it. Be confident.
Please welcome to the stage Senator Richard Blumenthal.
Another round of applause for Fran Pastore, who is not just the founder, but the animating spirit of this great organization. I can remember when Fran began, and there wasn't a team, there was just Fran, and the number of people at this kind of benefit could have fit at maybe 4, 5 of those tables. And today, 780 records sold out. You can't buy a seat any more than you can the World Series going on right now. You know, people in the business world live by numbers. You heard a few earlier, 922 businesses. In just the last 4 years, 922 businesses started by the WBDC with $11 million. And they have generated, this number you didn't hear before, 33,000 jobs, access to 63 million additional dollars in capital. This is a great American success story. Thank you to the WBDC. And what I have seen as I've gone around the state, I do get around the state, is openings of offices in New London, in Waterbury, most recently in Hartford, in Stamford. The WBDC is a model, it's a paradigm for our whole country. And right now, thanks to Governor Lamont, it is administering grants, $5 million, to businesses in the flood-stricken areas of Connecticut. Right now, in Southbury, Oxford, Middlebury, Seymour, businesses are on their feet again because of the WBDC. Small businesses, women-owned businesses, businesses that deserve to get back and benefit our economy. So thank you to Fran, thank you to all of you for supporting this great organization. I am so proud to be here in joining you and saluting these great honorees and awardees who are models of leadership. They lead by example, and it takes a lot of guts to put yourself out there, to be an entrepreneur, and to be a woman entrepreneur. And I want to thank all of the women who are here today, and a few, I won't say good men, smart men. You're in the right place. This is the ultimate networker's dream. True, right? But thank you all. I look forward to continuing to support this great organization, which has given so much, given back so much to the state of Connecticut. Thank you all.
And now, please welcome to the stage Congressman Jim Himes.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, WBDC and friends. It is such a thrill to be here. To the many superlatives that we can use to describe WBDC, we can now add a very substantial violation of local fire codes. I have been in this room hundreds of times, and I have never, ever seen a crowd this big, which is a real tribute to Fran Pastor, her board, her staff, and the remarkable work that WBDC does. As Fran mentioned, I have lovingly nicknamed our table the kids' table. We've got governors and senators and congressmen and commissioners and state senators and ambassadors, and you'll be delighted to know that we've all been asked to limit our remarks to 10 minutes each. But we're here because you all are the supporters that make this organization run. The remarkable generosity and philanthropy that allows Fran and her incredible staff to literally transform lives and regions in the state of Connecticut is what makes it work. But we're here because at every level of government we recognize competence and we recognize results, and that is the definition of what WBDC does. The jury is no longer out there, and I say this every year. There is nothing so powerful to transform communities than empowering women. That's true in Bridgeport, it's true in every corner of this globe. And we saw this coming out of COVID. Coming out of COVID, we saw a remarkable recovery and explosion of small businesses with special growth amongst women business people and communities of color. It's a remarkable thing that happened right coming out of COVID. And of course, WBDC was there to make sure that that wave continues and is sustained. Now, that's a dry economic statistic, but I've had over the many years the opportunity to visit business after business, jewelers, childcare, you name it, and to see, you saw it on the video, to see the lives transformed, the children who are going to have opportunities that they didn't have before in this region of such affluence and opportunity. That is exactly what we need. And it happens because of you, because of your generosity. It happens because of the remarkable leadership of Fran Pastor and her incredible staff. Thank you, everybody, for making it happen.
Please Please welcome to the stage Connecticut's Lieutenant Governor, Susan Bysowicz.
Well, good afternoon, and what a beautiful picture of smart, powerful, brilliant female entrepreneurs and some fabulous men of taste and discernment that are our supportive allies. I want to congratulate my dear friend Fran Pastore and her small but mighty staff at the WBDC. You continue to work so hard to make our state a more gender inclusive and equitable place for women and minority-owned small businesses. I'm always amazed at how much they can accomplish in a year, and you've heard some of it, but they've provided more than 3,000 women with hours of education and counseling. In 2023, 96% of those 3,000 businesses were owned by women and 47% were minority owned. And they've been able to give, and you've heard it, nearly $11 million in grants since 2020. And these grants are so impactful. They're small, but they're impactful. Look at the Ignite grants. Of the businesses that received the Ignite grants, 72% of those businesses increased their revenues, 61% increased profits, and 43% hired those 33,000 employees. So this is a very, very impactful organization, and the governor and I relied on the WBDC to help the hundreds of small businesses that were impacted by the floods. The WBDC stepped up and helped us distribute $5 million in $25,000 grants to help the businesses of Southbury and Seymour and Watertown and more. You know, the other big thing about the WBDC, and you saw it in the video, is they understand that childcare is the infrastructure of our economy. And 87% of the childcare businesses that received a grant in 2023 are operating in our underserved communities across our state. So they are very impactful in getting people back to work. We need so many employees in our state, and the WBDC is helping. So the future is so bright. Fran, we look forward to a continued vibrant collaboration with our state. Your leadership is visionary, and we thank you for the support that you provide to our women business leaders. And with that, it is my job to introduce a very important leader. He is a leader who has made Connecticut one of the best states in the country for women and families. He is a leader who believes that reproductive justice is economic justice. And he is a leader who understands that when you uplift women, you uplift families, you uplift communities, and you uplift our beautiful state. He's our fearless leader, Governor Ned Lamont.
Great afternoon, everybody. Halloween's around the corner, and last year were Kelsey and Taylor, but this year Annie and I are going to be Ghostbusters. So you're kind of wondering where I'm going with this. So am I. But, you know, when you find something strange in the neighborhood, who are you going to call? I'll tell you who Susan and I call. We call Fran Pastore. And we call each and every one of you. And I think you've heard some of the stories about when there's an emergency, when there's a real need, I need to get something done quickly and effectively. That's Fran and the council. During those, you mentioned those dark days of COVID, and we were shutting things down. Things were shutting down. Then you realize you can't have hospitals and nursing homes unless there's daycare in place for people to be able to take care of their kids. And we had some grants and we were able to help out. But you call Fran, and they make the revenues real, and we're able to get those nursing homes, we're able to get those daycare centers up and operating and make a difference there. You heard more recently, with the terrible flooding there in the Naugatuck Valley. It's incredible, in 2 hours, all of a sudden your business was 1.5 feet underwater. And I love the feds. They're coming in, they're helping, they're setting up their resilience centers, and SBA may be funded someday. We'll be able to get some more support for them. But in the meantime, we had to get some help out to those 250 businesses that were wiped out. And again, you call up Fran, and we got those $25,000 grants out the door, working with Dan O'Keefe and Department of Economic Community Development, start clearing away that mud, start rebuilding inventory. And what the council does is take a lot of the programs that we have, some of it with some federal support, a lot of state support, a lot of support from each and every one of you, and bring it to the people where they are. And Kamala likes to talk about an opportunity agenda, and we're trying to do the same thing here in the state of Connecticut. So that everybody has an opportunity to own their own business and to restart their life. And what you're able to do, the 15,000 businesses that have been created by the council over the last many years, what we're able to do in terms of helping to provide equity funding, the Boost loan program, some of the job training skills that we need. You heard Susan mention the different facilities that the council is setting up all over the state. Those are opportunity centers. And that's where you go in to restart your life and start a business. And for that, I think that's what's a state where we have more businesses being started up than ever before. And thanks to Fran and each and every one of you, there are more businesses. Most of them are businesses being started by women and people of color right on Main Street, making a difference in people's lives. So thank you for what you're doing for the council. I want you to know we're all here today because you are making an enormous difference in people's lives. Thanks.
Let's take a look.
Lashes by Lee is a 100% woman-owned beauty business. We offer lash extensions. We have a full-time esthetician who does facials, full body waxing. We have grown further, and we also have an education portion of our business as well. I learned about the WBDC through City Hall, New London. I have taken several classes through the WBDC. QuickBooks would be one of those, and also marketing, which has helped tremendously, and also social media. I received the grant in order to build our aesthetics program. With the grant through the WBDC, by adding the aesthetics program to our education portion, we have seen substantial growth here at Lashes by Lee. When I found out that I was a recipient of the Women Rising Award, I felt very proud and honored. The WBDC has had a huge impact on my business. The advisors at WBDC are amazing, phenomenal group of women who are always willing to support. The door is always open. I always tell women about it. They just make you feel so comforting and welcome.
People often ask me, how did I start my business? And I tell them that it just started by itself. I did oyster farming for about 5 years. So during that process, I learned everything there is to know about the oyster industry. I thought, how cool would that be if I could share this experience of working on oyster boats and growing oysters? One day I was like, I think it'd be cool to really do this, like do events for people, do raw bars. It was after one of my first few events, I realized I need to have a business structure. I need to have an LLC, but I don't know what that is, how that works. So I went online to figure out like Connecticut businesses, I'm women owned, and the CT WBDC popped up right at the top of the search results. So I went on the website and I'm like, this is incredible. I almost don't understand what this is because it seems to be like everything I need all in one place and it's free. I clicked on some links and saw there was a bunch of classes I could take online. And then also I could connect with people, business owners, women business owners in my area. The GPS course was life-changing in the sense that I learned so much, like technical skills, how to write a business plan, introduction to QuickBooks, things like that. But meeting every week with a group of women and just seeing, wow, these are all women of all different ages in Connecticut in so many different businesses, but we all have the same questions, same struggles, same goals. And it was inspiring. To be recognized by a group like the WBDC is hugely flattering. And it's just been even more of a driving force to keep doing what I'm doing and to keep asking questions, keep meeting with people, keep learning from the people around me. There's just more to do.
Please welcome to the stage WBDC's Chief Operating Officer, Brenda Thickett.
Hello. The Patricia Billy Award for Outstanding Community Service is named in honor of State Senator Patricia Billy Miller, whose distinguished career has been marked by her unwavering dedication to uplifting others. As a longtime supporter of WBDC, Senator Miller has been a fierce advocate for women entrepreneurs, helping pave the way for their success and empowerment. This award is presented to a WBDC volunteer whose dedication has helped entrepreneurs achieve their dreams. Thank you, Senator Miller. Your leadership and commitment to service continue to inspire and empower women across Connecticut and beyond. This year, this award is presented to Sarah Sharp, counsel at Hurwitz, Sarragan, Schlossberg, and Nuff, LLC, in recognition of her exceptional dedication and unwavering support of women entrepreneurs. Sarah has graciously lent her expertise and time helping WBDC clients realize their entrepreneurial dreams and achieve their business goals. In addition to serving on WBDC's Regional Advisory Council and on our startup grant pitch panels and teaching classes, Sarah provides invaluable guidance, insightful questions, and receives glowing feedback from the many clients she supports. Sarah, please join me on stage.
Really excited to be here today. One of the most rewarding things about volunteering with WBDC is seeing the creativity, ingenuity, and diversity of ideas that WBDC clients are bringing to our communities. I've had the opportunity to volunteer as a business advisor with WBDC's business planning classes, where you have these 10-minute one-on-one sessions with clients to provide feedback on their business ideas and learn more about their goals. And at those events, as with every WBDC event that I attend, I see women collaborating, supporting each other, and taking on roles that will empower the next generation of women entrepreneurs. And at the end of the day, supporting women entrepreneurs is not just about individual success. It's about creating a ripple effect that supports diverse perspectives, fosters community networking, and encourages more women to become role models and leaders in their businesses and in their everyday lives. I'm incredibly honored to be receiving this award and to be standing among all of the amazing women being recognized today. Thank you.
Once again, please turn your attention to the screen to hear stories from our final 2 Women Rising Award recipients.
My name is Giovanna Quispe de Ibarra. I am the owner and director from Rise and Shine Nursery and Pre-K Academy. Our vision is for children to learn through play. They learn math through the lemonade stand. They learn nature. They go outside. They go for walks. We go to field trips. Our team that we have, they're a blessing. They're really passionate about teaching. They're really passionate about educating children for a future. Since I was a home daycare provider, I received many emails from different institutions, and one of them was WBDC. I can point out crucial impact that has been WBDC for my life. At the beginning, I didn't know how to manage my business account. They help me out, they guide me, they teach me through the sessions, to trainings, to advisors. So all that guidance, step by step, they helped me so much to become the person who I am now. Being selected for a Women Rising Award, the first time when I saw the email, I was in shock. I felt special. Being a woman, being an Hispanic, not being English my first language, I still can impact people's life. I still can impact teachers. I still can impact families and parents. And that opportunity, just being award for something, it makes you feel that you're special and that you belong in where you are.
My name is Vicentia Eduse, and my title is President of Waste Management and Waste Construction. We manage construction projects for government agencies, institutions, non-for-profits, private companies. I've always been fascinated about construction. I love the fact that you see something and you can create it, and then you come back and it looks completely brand new and it makes an impact in communities. When you're a business owner, you're always trying to figure out ways of perfecting your business. I was really looking for a sustainable counseling. So I went online to see, is there any avenue here that supports, let's say, small business enterprises? And through that effort, WBDC popped up. Working with the WBDC counselor has helped us to grow substantially, reviewing where we are, reviewing where we're going, reviewing where we cut expenses, reviewing where we can apply the resources that we have. When I was selected as the recipient of the Women Rising Award, the first instant when I saw the email was, wow, very grateful. I was very humble. It was a nice feeling. It brought a smile to my face. The whole team at WBDC has been so significantly a big part of my business. And it had turned out to be a blessing, absolute blessing.
At this time, please join us in welcoming our 2024 Women Rising awardees to the stage. Please welcome back Gilda Bonanno.
Recipients! There we go. What amazing women, what a wonderful series of videos about their successes. So we hope that these stories and the work of WBDC will inspire you to become involved in one way or another. Thank you to everyone who has contributed to the success of today's event. The WBDC Gala is one of our largest and most important opportunities to share our accomplishments, spotlight our clients and honorees, and raise important programming dollars. Our overall fundraising goal for this event is $650,000. We are close, but not quite there. Today, we'd like to give everyone who hasn't yet made a donation the chance to do so, or for some of you to give again, and it's so easy to do. So I'd like to ask you to take out your cell phones again, or turn them over. At your seat, you're going to find a card with a QR code. Please scan it with your phone's camera and follow the instructions for payment. Help us empower and educate women entrepreneurs throughout the state, which will enable us to create more success stories just like the ones you've seen on screen. No amount is too small, and we appreciate all of your support. Will you help us meet our goal? And to sweeten the deal, we have a treat for those who participate. All donors who complete their payment of $100 or more through this QR code will be entered into a special drawing to win a pair of AirPods Pro 2 or a bundle of gift cards to stores such as Bloomingdale's, Athleta, and more. The two winners will be selected at the conclusion of the luncheon. Now, to give you an idea of how your gifts will be used, a gift of $5,000 helps us to continue to provide business owners across Connecticut with funding to start and grow their business. $2,500 provides dedicated one-on-one business advising to more than 25 women entrepreneurs. $1,000 supports a client's participation in a 9-week business plan course, and you heard that referenced many times in the videos, how impactful that course is. $500 supports a regional WBDC networking event. $250 supports a client's participation in online classes. And $100 funds a business health assessment for a new client. We have more than 785 people in this room. Imagine the possibilities if everyone here made a donation of any amount. We so appreciate your support. Thank you for participating today. And again, every donation has an impact. We're going to have a short break now for lunch, and towards the end of lunch, the raffle winners will be posted on the ballroom screens, as well as on the boards by the raffle tables. Enjoy your lunch, and please keep those donations coming.
Take your seats. Our program is about to begin. Thank you. take your seats. Our program is about to begin. Thank you. Please welcome back to the stage our Master of Ceremonies, Gilda Bonanno.
Welcome back. We hope you enjoyed your lunch and the conversations that are still happening. We hope you enjoyed those. And congratulations to all our raffle winners. If you haven't yet checked, the names will be posted on the boards by the raffle tables. We scrolled them right at the end of lunch. I didn't win anything this year, but that's okay. But you can check them after the program and pick up your winnings at the raffle table. So I hope you enjoyed the conversations at lunch. That's one of the advantages of having 785 people in the room. You never know who you're going to run into. So we appreciate you being here. We appreciate your support. You appreciate your donations. Keep those coming. Thank you so much. Now we come to the part of the program where we honor two outstanding business leaders with the WBDC Impact Award. The WBDC Impact Award is presented to a visionary business or community leader who has exemplified the mission and values of WBDC. This leader is committed to opening the doors of opportunity for others, for creating pathways for success and fostering prosperity for women. To present our first Impact Award, please welcome Dr. Dale Merrill, Senior Vice President for the Mashantucket Pequot Tribal Nation and Foxwoods Resort Casino.
I've been blessed to introduce and present awards to some phenomenal people throughout my career. And when I think about how I'm going to describe an awardee, I typically draw from information that I've garnered through professional settings, volunteer settings, or the workplace. So when I thought about how I might introduce Jean, I realized that as her bratty, slightly younger sister, I had way too much information on her. When I played back a lifetime of stories, thinking back on Jean when she was a girl, a teenager, a college student, a young professional, a new mother, a seasoned executive, one thing remained the same, and that was that she's always supported the people around her by developing them. She gives of herself to her family, coworkers, and community, not just by doing for them, but by showing them how to do for themselves. Jean teaches people to fish, and she fishes for them at the same time. Centering and empowering women and girls is what she's done her entire life. As children, we didn't have a lot of resources growing up. Our parents were not in a position to give us allowance. We lived in a rent-controlled apartment complex. And Jean, knowing very early on that earning more money would be essential to having certain freedoms, decided that she would start a newspaper route. And for the younger people in the crowd, this was, I'm dating both of us here. Newspapers were tangible things that got delivered to your house. So I'm fairly certain she was probably like around 11 years old, and rather than deliver the newspapers herself, she hired our two other sisters and one of our neighbors, Terry Keefe. She created a ledger. I can remember this. She divided the paper route and assigned her 3 employees accordingly. And she paid each of them 10 cents a day. And we're not that old. 10 cents a day was a whole lot of nothing at the time. If a customer had a problem, if they didn't get their newspaper, or if there was any kind of other issue with the route, Jean was the one to handle it. And again, at 10 cents a day, my sisters and Terry didn't realize that they might have been being suckered. What none of us realized at the time is that Jean was showing us how to be about our business. It wasn't until I got older that I realized that there were certain spaces that women were not supposed to be in, and that business was one of them. It never occurred to me when I was growing up that this was the case. It never occurred to me that I shouldn't aspire to have a career or to be a leader, and that's because I watched my sister Jean thrive in those spaces, and I watched her bring women and girls along. It's because of this that the WBDC Impact Award is presented to Jean Swift, Chief Financial Officer of the Mashantucket Pequot Tribal Nation, in recognition of her visionary leadership, her remarkable achievements in economic development and finance. Her work has been an inspiration to women in business, little girls growing up in the projects, especially within the tribal community, and aligns perfectly with the WBDC's mission to champion economic equity and expand opportunities for women. Jean's commitment continues to make a lasting impact on empowering future generations. It's my pleasure to introduce Jean Swift.
Dale's amazing. I just love her. Can you please give her a round of applause? So in fairness, before I continue, I have to say, I definitely believe in fair wages, not 10 cents a day. But that's a great story, Dale. So Wikisuk, which is good day in Algonquin. Wikisuk, esteemed guests, colleagues, and friends. First and foremost, I would like to thank Fran Pastore and the Women's Business Development Council, the Mashantucket Pequot Tribal Council, Foxwoods Resort and Casino, the Wonder Nation team, DraftKings, and Core Plus Credit Union, my incredible coworkers, and my beautiful family for being here to celebrate this momentous occasion. On behalf of the Mashantucket Pequot Tribe, I am truly honored to be named one of this year's WBC Award recipients. Congratulations to all of the other women who are being honored here today. I would not accept this award without acknowledging that it is shared with all of the individuals who support me. They are my village, and I am blessed beyond measure to have them in my life. The first group of villagers is my tribal family. I had the privilege of being recognized as a Mashantucket Pequot tribal citizen in October 1994. This month marks actually 30 years. Many closely related tribal citizens have been a part of my life for as long as I can remember. Others I have had the pleasure of getting to know over time. The very nature of being a family means that there are some members we absolutely adore, and some maybe not so much. But at the end of the day, we are family, and family offers a sense of identity and belonging. I thank God for my Pequot family. I love you. The second group of villagers are my colleagues and coworkers. They are the people I interact with on a regular basis. They are diligent, dedicated people who endeavor to make a difference in their respective roles. These villagers are intelligent, earnest individuals. I can say in all sincerity that I would not be standing before you today without them. It's a pleasure to work alongside them, and I'm fortunate to call many of them my friends as well. To my colleagues here today, Jared Baumgard and others, Katapatu Yumu. I refer to the last group of villagers as my inner circle. These are the people who know me best. They are my biggest supporters, dearest friends, closest family members. Inner circle people give us a reason to press on when times get unexpectedly difficult. Sometimes it isn't even what they say or what they do. It's simply their very existence that refreshes the soul. I am grateful to the Creator for the gift of a good village. Thank you to everyone here and here in spirit who make up my village. One of my favorite proverbs is, "To whom much is given, much is required." I have been given a village of support. Because I have received much from my village, I am blessed to give much in return. I hope each of you will take stock in recognizing your family, colleagues, and inner circle supporters who make up your village. When counting that blessing, please endeavor to support others by being a part of their village as well. God bless you all and be well.
Please welcome to the stage the co-founder and managing partner at Oak HCFT and Connecticut's First Lady, Annie Lamont.
Beautiful and a hard act to follow. Wow. I love that. And I love that a woman talks about villages and has the humility to know that it's not just about herself, which is sort of a woman's thing, actually. Female thing, I'd say. So I heard you heard about our Ghostbusters theme for Halloween. It's always, there's some very fun things that about being the First Lady, and probably the most fun is Halloween evening at the residence, where we give out 800 chocolate bars to children that come by in their adorable Halloween costumes. So, there are some really fun things about the job, and one of the other great things is coming to this lunch and this incredible organization that Fran has created. Thank you, Fran, really amazing. I've had a long career, and when I started out, I think there were 2 women in the industry, and now we make up 15% of the industries. So we've made progress, but not a lot, and I'm not usually looking out at a room of women. So I really love being here, and always appreciate men too. There are a few of you here. I love men too. I'm very honored to present the WBC Impact Award to Stacy Kennedy, President, American Region, and CEO of PMI's U.S. business. This is to recognize Stacy's unwavering commitment to fostering workplace diversity. Under her leadership, PMI launched the Women's Economic Empowerment Initiative earlier this year to support women entrepreneurs throughout Connecticut. Her leadership has created a culture of opportunity, inclusion, and innovation at PMI, and she has made a profound and lasting impact on the organization. I love this part. Having grown up in a small town in Wisconsin, Stacy grew up on a small farm in Mississippi, and at a young age began selling watermelons because it was a watermelon farm, and learned a lot about business in the process, and I think credits a lot of her learning from those early days. Stacy has had an incredible career at PMI, being named the youngest and first female vice president in 2005, managing director in 2015, and in 2018, she was appointed as the first ever female president of PMI's Asia Pacific operations. She and her family moved to Connecticut in 2022, and I think you all know what kind of impact PMI has had on this region, and we were so proud that they moved here and have made this their home. They've been such contributors to the community, and we're really proud to have her as part of our community because she makes such a difference. Please join me in congratulating Stacy for all her contributions to WBDC and the local community. Thank you.
Thank you, Annie, so much for those very kind words. I guess you can hear the Mississippi a bit in my voice, maybe. I'm trying to make it Connecticut. But thank you very much for the warm welcome that you and Governor Lamont have given us ever since PMI moved and made Connecticut our home. It's just been an incredibly warm welcome from the entire community. I really want to extend my heartfelt thanks to the First Lady, the Women's Business Development Council, and everyone here for this incredible honor. I'm truly humbled, and it's on behalf of all of PMI. From the first evening that I met Fran, and I must say that was at a dinner of powerful women of Connecticut that was organized by my amazing friend and colleague, Marian Salzman, I was simply blown away with what Fran and WBDC is doing. It's a powerful mission. It has real impact in the community. And I have to tell you that some of my colleagues who are here from other states said, does our state have a program like this? It's really incredible. Fran, you are personally very inspiring, and you uplift women in their lives and across all aspects of Connecticut economy and society. In fact, you deserve the Impact Award that WBDC so generously gives out and bestows on others each and every year. Thank you. And congratulations to my fellow honoree, Jean Swift. I love the newspaper story. In fact, I was thinking, why didn't I think of that for my watermelon business? I had a slew of cousins. We had a lot of land. I could have done so much better. Dang, you know? But this is what you learn from other women. You get best practices, and then you employ them. No, but seriously, thank you for your leadership. It's really an amazing story, and congratulations also to all of the Women Rising honorees here today. Truly amazing stories, and you are to be celebrated. I appreciate Annie mentioning my watermelon business. I was really proud of Stacy's watermelons, and so I thought some of you might be asking why watermelons, because it's not exactly your typical 7-year-old business. In fact, I wanted to do the typical 7-year-old lemonade stand, but then I had my first business conversation with my dad, and you may not know Mississippi agriculture that much, but lemons aren't growing on trees like right around the corner. But we have plenty of great soil for watermelons. And then also the fact was I really didn't like lemonade that much. I thought it was kind of sour. So lesson number 1, source locally. Lesson number 2, pick a product you love. And the lessons went on and on and on. And so I learned so much from that, and it really sparked the entrepreneurial spirit in me. And I'm very grateful to my educator parents and small business family members that taught me so well. You know, while we are complex thinkers in an incredibly increasing complex world, I often remind myself of the simple principles, like the simple principles of business that I learned from my first business of selling watermelons. And so I thought I would share with you 3 simple principles, not to oversimplify what it means to be successful as a woman, but I do think that there are 3 simple principles that have always helped me, and it's something that young girls and women need to be successful. Number 1, agency. My dad told me that you have the capability to do any job that you decide you want to do, and don't ever let anyone tell you you can't. And then he said, but choose wisely, because you should choose a powerful purpose, and you should choose something that has a positive impact. Now, that's a pretty tall order, and you say, how do you do that? But I look at the women entrepreneurs around this room, and women entrepreneurs of WBDC are doing exactly that. You're passionate about baking, sell cupcakes. I love those moms that do the cupcake business because I'm terrible at it, and you need them for all the school parties. You're passionate about children. You're passionate about making a difference in your community when you see a real need. Start childcare centers and grow it from there. Juice business, how amazing was that story? So this is about agency. It's about agency that is the power of taking a decision to turn your capability and passion into an amazing business with purpose and impact. Number 2, simple principle, opportunity. I was once in a room full of businessmen who were very earnest in trying to debate and find a solution for how do they put the first woman on a senior management team. And after debating for quite some time, how do we develop, how do we get the right qualities, one senior business leader stood up and said, I have a bold idea. Why don't we choose one, the first one, and promote her? Why don't we give her a seat at the senior table and then support her? And I know that that sounds fundamentally simple, but that's exactly what needed to be done. And that's exactly what they did. And we all know that as women, when we're given a seat at the table, which is opportunity, and we're given support and development, not only do we make it, but we thrive, and we help others thrive in the process. And I'm so glad that so many companies are doing that today. The third one is impact. As a junior manager, I remember once thinking of what I thought was a clever question, and I wanted to ask a senior leader, how could I build a winning team spirit? He thought for a second and he said simply, well, it really helps to win. And I thought, okay, that's good. I thought he was being a little snarky, but in reality, he taught me a very, very powerful lesson. And that powerful lesson is that it's not about the effort that you make. And yes, convivial team spirit is really nice and it's really important, but it is about the outcome. And it's about the outcome of the win. And once you have the win, then it's much easier to build the convivial team spirit and the wonderful feelings and all of the things that go along with that. But it's hard to build when you don't win. Women with agency, opportunity, and impact most often don't do it alone. We have lots of help. So thank you to all of those who support the women that are in this room and who help us to win every single day. So I would start with our families. I have my husband, my daughter, and my son here today, and I'm truly grateful for their love, their support, and their understanding, which there's a lot of. Our friends lift us up. Our friends give us advice, and sometimes when we get off the path a little bit, our friends hold a mirror up in front of our faces so that we can take a good hard look and get back on the path. And our dear colleagues, and I have a lot of them here today. I'm so glad that we could sponsor so many tables and that everybody was so willing to come and join. I'm incredibly grateful for my PMI colleagues who are at the heart and soul of the DNA of our Better Together. Before PMI started doing business in the US, and we're less than 2 years old, we'll have our birthday at the beginning of the year, everybody on the team was all in for our powerful mission and purpose, of creating a smoke-free America, which is all in the interest of public health, while at the same time we support and give back to and lift up those in the communities where we live and work. And we found that one of the best ways to do that, to serve our community, is by investing in women. Now, I have a really great team who put a lot of statistics here about what is the business case for investing in women, and it's pretty clear this whole room has already got that. So for the sake of brevity, I'm going to skip the statistics and just say it's a great ROI. Seriously, inspirational leaders like the First Lady, Governor Lamont, Fran Pastore, Lieutenant Governor Bizewicz, Mayor Simmons, and many more, the entire WBDC organization has made Connecticut a shining example of what happens when women have the resources to dream big and contribute fully to their visions of the future. And so that's just one of the many, many reasons that I am very honored and very proud to call Connecticut home, and hopefully home for good. We've moved around a lot. So on behalf of all of my colleagues at PMI, thank you to Fran, to WBDC for this truly special honor and for allowing us at PMI to be a very big part of the success. Thank you so much.
Please welcome back Fran Pastore.
Jean, I'm so inspired, and Stacy for your beautiful remarks, and I'm so glad. I hope you do get to stay in Connecticut because we really love having you here. Thanks everybody for a really lovely afternoon. I know that there are a a lot of people that are here and very excited to meet my friend and colleague, Carla Harris. I know I am. Happy that Carla's here. This is her third time coming to WBDC since we met about 15 years ago. Carla, I'm so glad that you're here to join us. Carla rose through the ranks, the corporate ranks at Morgan Stanley as a woman of color when almost every other person in the room was a white male. She shattered the glass ceiling every step of the way. Now, today, she shares with us Carla's pearls, her bits of wisdom that will help other women who are making their way in the world of business and work. Among her many talents, Carla's a singer. I think many of you were here with me 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. Actually, I think it was our 20th anniversary, so this is our 28th or 27th. Carla sang on stage because I asked her to. She's a best-selling author as well, and her latest book is Lead to Win. It's available out in the front lobby, so if you haven't already purchased one, I'm sure you want to do so after listening to some of her pearls. Carla, please join me on stage, and thank you so much.
Well, good afternoon, WBDC Women Rising 2024. It is really a privilege and an honor to be here. And Fran, thank you for inviting me back. And a special good afternoon to our First Lady and to all of the award winners today. As Fran knows, there are a few things that I enjoy more than talking about what I like to call Carla's pearls. My hard-earned and hard-learned pearls after being a woman and a woman of color on Wall Street as of this summer for 37 years. I dare say that I have learned a few things about not only surviving, but more importantly, thriving in the seat that you sit in or the seat that you aspire to sit in. And frankly, that's what the pearls are all about. My first book, Expect to Win, were the pearls that I acquired the hard way because I was green when I started on Wall Street. And I bought this whole concept of a meritocracy. All you have to do is be smart and work hard, and you can go right to the top. Well, it didn't take me very long to realize that was an incomplete success equation. And the second book I wrote on the back of the financial services crisis because I saw so many people displaced during that time, and they were having a hard time trying to reconnect. And I believe strongly that the key to getting any job that you want is to understand what the buyer is buying. When you know what the buyer is buying, then you tell your story through that lens. And there are very few jobs where your previous experience is the dominant factor in your getting that opportunity. It's about knowing what the buyer is buying and selling your story through that lens. But this last book, Lead to Win, which I'm excited to give you the pearls from that book, it was actually instigated because I saw what was going on in the fourth quarter of 2018. So that was pre-pandemic. I realized that we were in an environment where millennials and Zers were the dominant population in the workforce. And they demanded very different things than those of us who are boomers and older Xers. They demanded as table stakes transparency, inclusivity, and feedback. And let's face it, if you're a boomer, an older Xer, you didn't get a lot of feedback along your career journey. You were told, keep your head down, work hard. If you don't get fired, that's how you know you're doing okay. But that kind of leadership style will never prevail in this kind of environment. So the question is, what do you have to do to show up as a powerful, impactful, influential leader in today's environment? And I believe you must be intentional. And you must be intentional around 8 pearls. Leadership doesn't happen because you're 37 years in the seat or because somebody promotes you and give you a title of management and authority. Leadership happens because you show up for your people every day intentionally to lead. It's critical that you understand that in today's environment, people feel that they have choices. And the reason that people stay or leave organizations is largely because of leadership. So, the 8 pearls of intentional leadership that I want to leave you with today, The first one is authenticity. Your authenticity is your distinct competitive advantage. Nobody can be you the way that you can be you. And the day that you received your current opportunity, somebody else didn't get the job because you were the best person for the job. So the last thing any of us should ever do is to submerge that which is uniquely you. Anytime that you're trying to speak or behave in a way that is inauthentic to who you really are, that's when you create the competitive disadvantage, because you're using valuable intellectual capacity that you could use to really hear what your clients or your colleagues are saying, but they are not articulating. Valuable intellectual capacity that you could use to demonstrate that quick twitch response, and valuable intellectual capacity that you could use to co-create with that person on the other side of the conversation. As quiet as it's kept, I've learned after almost 4 decades on the street that most people are not comfortable in their own skin. So when they see someone who is comfortable and confident in their skin, they will gravitate towards you. They absolutely want some of that. Your success, like mine, depends upon your ability to successfully penetrate relationships. Well, the easiest way to penetrate a relationship is to bring your authentic self into that seat. When you bring your authentic self into that seat, people trust you. And trust is at the heart of any successful relationship. This was a very interesting pearl for me to acquire because, as you heard from Fran, I am a singer. I've done 6 sold-out concerts at Carnegie Hall, 2 at the Apollo, recorded 4 gospel CDs and 3 singles. That was my single playing when I came up. But when I first started in this business of financial services, I didn't want anybody to talk about the fact that I was a singer. I wanted to be known as a no-nonsense, hard-driving, analytical, quantitative investment banker. I'm not here to sing and dance, boys. Let's not get it twisted. I didn't want anybody to talk about that until I saw the client's reaction. Because, of course, against all of my objections, my colleagues would ask me to come into the room to pitch a piece of business, and they would say, oh, this is Carla Harris, our capital markets banker. But what you really ought to know about Carla, she's an amazing gospel singer, and she sung at Carnegie Hall and Radio City and the Apollo, and I'm there rolling my eyes until I saw the client's reaction. Oh, you're a singer. Oh, I so admire people who can sing. And I personally love to sing, but my family won't let me sing in the shower. And maybe you can talk to my daughter about how she integrates her love of the arts and her academics. And there we were, having a 15-minute meeting before the meeting. Are you with me, Women Rising 2024? The meeting before the meeting. So when I sat down to pitch, they heard me with a different ear. They saw me through a different lens because Carla Harris, the singer, was allowed to be in the room with Carla Harris, the banker. So I naturally differentiated myself from the other 5 bankers that would come in there and pitch that same IPO. So now whenever I go into a new situation, I bring Carla Harris, the investment banker, but I bring Carla Harris, the prayer warrior, Carla Harris, the singer, the writer, the speaker, the mother, the football fan. I bring all those Carlas to the table because I don't know which Carla will be the one that will connect and allow me to own the relationship in a proprietary way. Your authenticity is your distinct competitive advantage because nobody can be you the way that you can be you. And if you are choosing to sit in that leadership seat today, it is even more imperative that you bring your authentic self into that seat. Why? Because then you motivate and inspire those who are working with you. Notice I said with and not for. Those who are working with you to bring their authentic selves into the table, into the seat. And here's the deal. Anytime any of us is in an environment where we can be who we really are, we will always outperform. And that will now accrue to your status in that leadership seat. The second pearl is around building trust. We're working in an environment where innovation is the dominant competitive parameter, which means as leaders, You are going into territories unknown. Every leader understands that you cannot do it alone. You cannot do it alone. You will need somebody else's intellect, somebody else's experience, and access to somebody else's network. And the only way that your teams will give you the benefit of their best thinking, allow you to leverage their previous experience, and allow you into their network, and everybody has a network, is that they must trust you. So the question is, how do you build trust? After almost 40 years as a customer gal, I have learned that the way that you build trust is that you simply deliver over and over again. And here's the other deal. People will always tell you what they value. They will always tell you what they value. You need only ask the question and create the space where they can define that which they value, and then you strategize on how you deliver on that value proposition. And it's the same way with your teams. Have the one-on-ones and understand what motivates them, and then you deliver on that value proposition as a leader and watch them outperform. The third pearl is around creating clarity. As I've just said, innovation is the dominant competitive parameter, so you're going into territories unknown. If you are choosing to sit in the leadership seat today, it is your job to create clarity even when you cannot see. It is your job to define what success looks like. For when you fail to define what success looks like for the team, you create a tremendous amount of frustration on the food chain. They know you're not happy, and they don't know what it takes to get you to happy. You know that you should be able to get more from your teams, and you're not sure what you need to do and why you're not getting it. But when you define success, then everybody is motivated and inspired to deliver beyond that which has already been defined, which again will accrue to your status in that leadership seat. The fourth pearl is around creating other leaders. This one was a tough one for me because I am a natural born executor. Left to my own devices, I will execute, execute, execute. I get my joy from taking that thing off the list. I'm that girl. But at the end of the day, when you get to the leadership seat, it is not about execution for you anymore. Remember that leadership is a journey from execution to empowerment. If all roads lead back to you, then by definition, you will cap your success and the organization's success because you are one woman, you are one man. So the way that you can amplify your impact in your organizations is to be intentional about creating other leaders. Selfishly, you should be able to look out over your organization and say, he's mine, she's mine, she's mine. You want to think of yourself as a kingmaker, as a queen maker, and you want to intentionally give those things that allowed you to cut your leadership teeth to intentionally give them to other people. And you will see how you will amplify not only your power and your impact in the organization, but you will find that you will start to penetrate in the marketplace in ways that you might not have been able to do. The fifth pearl is around diversity. If you want to be a powerful, impactful, influential leader in today's environment, you must be intentional about diversity. It will not just happen. We are all vulnerable to unconscious bias. I don't care who you are, where you're from, where you were educated, and I'll give you an example of my own. I had the benefit of creating the Multicultural Innovation Lab at Morgan Stanley. It is an award-winning in-house tech accelerator where we bring in early-stage companies that have been founded by women and people of color, and we give them three things. We give them cash in exchange for a single-digit percentage of the company. We give them a carefully curated 6-month curriculum to help them to evolve from being a founder to a CEO, because as you know, there's a difference. And we also connect them to some of our larger investment banking clients. Within 2 years of building this, I looked up and my entire team was women, all women. Oh, it was multicultural, but not an ounce of testosterone to be seen anywhere. And I knew immediately that I had a gap in my go-to-market strategy, because if you have homogenous thinking at your decision-making table, you will have a gap in your go-to-market strategy, and it will expose you unnecessarily to outsized competitive threats. And here's the business proposition for diversity. I said earlier that we're all competing around innovation. It is the dominant competitive parameter across all industries. So if you agree with me, you must agree with me that you need a lot of ideas in the room in order to get to that one innovative idea that will allow you to obtain and retain a leadership position in your industry. Because after all, innovation is born from ideas. Well, if you need a lot of ideas in the room, you need a lot of perspectives in the room, because ideas are born from perspectives. If you need a lot of perspectives in the room, you need a lot of experiences in the room, because perspectives are born from experiences. And if you need a lot of experiences in the room, you better start with a lot of different people in the room, because experiences are born from people. So you have to start with a lot of different people in the room in order to get to that one innovative idea that will allow you to obtain and retain a leadership position in your industry. That is the commercial imperative around diversity. And if you're not with me yet, let me give you one last thought. When I walked out of the lauded halls of Harvard Business School in 1987, excellence in corporate America looked like 6 white men at the top. 6 white men at the top. Nothing strange about that. Pick the company: GM, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Ford, Exxon, Procter & Gamble. Nothing strange. So I knew that as a woman and a woman of color, if I wanted to play, I had to be comfortable being the first and the only in many, many rooms. But Women Rising 2024, that is not the environment that millennials and Zers have grown up in. They have grown up in a very different environment. They have grown up in an environment where they have seen women lead. They might have a mother that's a CEO, a mother that's driving the highest profile nonprofit in their city or town. They've gone to outstanding schools where there's a smart black kid on the right, smart Hispanic kid on the left, smart Asian kid sitting in front of them, smart Indian kid sitting behind them. That's what excellence looks like. And if they don't see their definition of excellence in the organizations that they're thinking of joining, they won't go. And if they go, they won't stay. And it will now compromise your objective to be the employer of choice in your space. The next pearl is around innovation. If you want to compete in today's environment and you are choosing to sit in the leadership seat, it is your job to teach your teams how to innovate. How do you teach people how to innovate? You better teach them how to fail. Because if people are deathly afraid of failing, they will rarely reach far enough to truly innovate, which will compromise your competitiveness in the marketplace. How do you teach people how to fail? You celebrate the failures. When somebody on your team takes a risk and it doesn't work out, you must be constructive and productive in your response. If you have a markedly adverse reaction, please know that that person on the other side of that conversation and the people who are indirectly witnessing that conversation, they will never go there again. As my grandmother used to say, a burnt child is afraid of fire. So when somebody makes a mistake or takes a risk and it doesn't work out, you must say, oh, this was a huge mistake, Dan. Oh, this may cost us this quarter, because you want to be authentic. But let's all give Dan a hand because he took the risk. And because he took the risk, we now have the following 3 pieces of information. And we can now invest that in the next try, getting that much closer to success. When your teams know that you value the try, they will try, fail, iterate. Try, fail, iterate. Try, fail, iterate, innovate. And that's what you want to have happen. If your teams believe that you will shoot the messenger, then they just won't tell you. They just won't tell you. And that's the last thing that you want as a leader. You can't fix it if you don't know that it's broken. You can't provide the air cover. You can't create the narrative around what transpired. So you want to make sure that you are intentional about letting your teams know that you value the try. The 7th pearl is around inclusivity. How do you show up as a powerful, impactful, inclusive leader in today's environment? You simply solicit other people's voices. Solicit other people's voices. I'd like you to try this the next 4 times that you bring your teams together. I'll get us started in this conversation, not because I'm the smartest person in the room, but because I'm the most seasoned, not old, person in the room. I'm the most seasoned person, so I'll get us started. Now, Abby, I want you to add on to this argument. Now, Byron, I want you to add on to what Abby has said. Chandra, I want you to play devil's advocate. How would you blow up this argument? Expose all the gaps. Damon, I want you to add on to what Chandra has said. What have you done? You've done two powerful things as an impactful, influential, inclusive leader. The first is that you said, I see you. You invited each of them into the solution-making process by name, which means you have to engage enough with your teams that you can authentically invite them into the solution-making process by name. And guess what? Who doesn't value being seen by the boss? The second thing that you've done is that you said, I hear you. Not only did you invite them into the conversation by name, but you invited them specifically to support or refute the argument that's on the floor. And guess what, Women Rise in 2024? Everybody values being heard. Everybody values being heard. If you say to anyone, wait a minute, let me repeat what I think you said. Did I understand you to mean? That person is thinking, wow, he was listening. Wow, she really heard me. And you are generating immediate currency that you can now reinvest back into that relationship, further strengthening that relationship currency. But here's the intended consequence of what you have done. You've now put everybody's fingerprints on the blueprint. Everybody on your team is now equally invested in the success or failure of that endeavor. And as a leader, you know that it doesn't get any better than that. And the final pearl, if you want to be a powerful, impactful, influential leader in today's environment, you must be willing to call a thing, no matter how bad the thing might be. And I would argue the worse the thing is, the more important it is that you give voice to it. When you fail to give voice to it, now you are undermining all of your efforts to demonstrate your authenticity. You are also impairing the trust, because transparency is a critical ingredient to building trust. The last story that I want to leave you with is I had the privilege pre-pandemic of speaking to a Fortune 50 company, top 600 global leaders. In the prep call, they said, we want you to understand what you're walking into. It's a tough time to be us. We've disappointed the street for the last 7 quarters. Our stock is as low as it's been for the last 10 years. We've had a number of restructurings and reductions in force, and frankly, people are disillusioned and the morale is at an all-time low. I said, thank you very much for giving me that background. He said, now let me tell you how the run of show is going to go. There's going to be a celebrity that will open it up. The CEO is going to talk about our new strategy, and then there's you. I said, cool. Is the CEO going to talk about the things that you just told me? Oh, no, he doesn't want to touch any of that. And I thought, wow, what a missed opportunity to lead. What would have been so difficult about coming on that stage saying, ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited to tell you about our new strategy. I believe this is the thing that will not only put us back on the battlefield, we're going to be able to win the war. But before I talk about that, I want to talk about something that's been heavy on my heart. I know it's a tough time to be us. I know that there are people sitting out there with folks that, are not here anymore, and you're thinking about them. I know that the stock is as low as it's been for 10 years, and you're watching it on your 401k. I know it's a tough time to be us, and it's hard. But I also know that I can't begin to think about winning with this strategy without every single one of you. And I know that I got the best team in the industry, which is why you all are sitting out there. But I need to know, are you with me? Are you with me? Are you with me? And I thought, what would have been so hard about saying that? I just made it up. It wouldn't have been that difficult. But it was a missed opportunity to call a thing, a missed opportunity to lead. Now, as I close, while I have given you the pearls of intentional leadership, I will tell you that the strand that holds these pearls together is courage. It's courage. because it takes courage to call a thing a thing. We have all been in rooms when we knew something should have been said and we simply looked down at our shoes. It takes courage to invite your people to stand shoulder to shoulder with you to reimagine how you might do business over the next couple of years. It takes courage to teach people how to fail, especially millennials and Zers who are deathly afraid of failing. It takes courage to be intentional around diversity. It will not just happen. We are all vulnerable to unconscious bias. It takes courage to create other leaders, especially if you are unsure of your own leadership trajectory. It takes courage to create clarity when you can't see. It takes courage to engage enough with people to earn, build, and retain their trust. And it takes courage to bring your authentic self into any environment, which is why so many people are challenged to do so. If you want to be a powerful, impactful, influential leader in today's environment, you must expect and strategize so you can lead to win. Thank you for the privilege and the honor.
Carla Harris, everyone! Woo! Wow, that is amazing. Carla, thank you for those inspiring words. Lead to Win is available. Signed copies are available outside. I have a copy of it. It captures everything she's talked about today. So thank you, Carla, for that. And congratulations to our honorees, and thank you for your generous commitment to our work. Before we conclude, I want to announce the two winners of our call to action drawing. The winner of the AirPods Pro 2 is Alif Afan, and the winner, yes, hello Alif, and the winner of the gift card bundle is Carolyn Bernardoni. Please pick up your prize at the checkout desk on your way out. Please remember to check the boards also by the raffle tables to see if you've won the raffle and collect your winnings. On behalf of WBDC, thank you for being here today. Thanks to you, we're ready to embark on the next 27 years. Remember to continue investing in women entrepreneurs, and please get out and vote, Connecticut. Thank you very much.